Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Miraculous Ladybug, which we'll be getting into today.
Ooh.
I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hello.
The magical girl team is assembled to cover the news, the new season.
Is that what we're calling it?
Our official title?
I think so. It's the Miscons coverage team. I think it's.
I love this.
But yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're here because Miraculous Ladybug season 2 has begun. Yeah.
Yay.
This is the place to be for Miraculous Ladybug coverage. Delaney and I covered all of season 1 back in the day, like over a year ago when it was airing. Yeah. You can find our old Ladybug podcast at overlyanimated.com. Search for Overly Animated Ladybug on iTunes. You can get our Ladybug specific feed. But yeah, we'll be doing episode recaps every time a new episode or a bunch of new episodes air, wherever the show premieres, because things are crazy in Europe right now with Miraculous Ladybug. There's a very short version, episodes 1 and 2, which we'll be talking about today, which are the Collector and Despair Bear. So we're talking about Collector and Despair Bear, the English dub. Yeah.
Despair Bear.
Yeah, Despair Bear. Yeah, it's the English dub aired in Spain. So this is probably not how the show is going to be premiering. It'll air in France first normally, but Spain an early showing. Also, the first episode is out on the Disney UK YouTube channel. So if you live in the UK, you can watch it legally there. Other than that, you're out of luck probably. But we're talking about them there. Dylan, where can I see the episodes? Okay, so go to reddit.com/r/miraculous ladybug. Okay. I'm not going to give links in the description, whatever. Like, try to watch it legally if you can. If not, reddit.com/r/miraculous ladybug. Okay. We're talking about these first 2 episodes. It's just the dub. The French original is not available at the moment. So, yeah.
Dang it. I really wanted to not understand them.
Yeah. Hey, no, the French is so much better.
It's a lot better, yeah. I mean,
Dylan and I compared. We had a whole study on
we started watching English dub and then
I'm being thrown into this, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, but the English, the dub is great. It's just obviously, I think, for originals, it's never as good as the dub's never as good as the original. In this case, it's French, but we did not have access to the original French for this. It'll air in France starting. We're recording this Tuesday, the 24th. I think this Thursday it's premiering in France, and then they're doing 1 episode a day, except for Halloween, for an entire week. So we'll probably not do daily, but we also have to wait for the fan subs to come out. Because obviously we don't know French, so we're gonna wait for
you didn't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
So we're gonna wait for the English fan subs to come out, and then we're gonna cover those. So whenever it's available to us, we'll cover in chunks of 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever episodes. So, but there's the short version. Any more questions, go to Reddit. Okay. So we're talking the Collector and Despair Bear today, episodes 1 and 2. Don't listen to this if you have not seen the episodes yet. Please go watch the episodes.
You have to watch
it. For once in the show's life, there are actually spoilers.
For once.
The first time ever in Miraculous Ladybug. So just go watch the episodes first. But we're getting into these 2 episodes. Okay. So, as I say, overlyanimated.com, whatever. Okay, yeah, check out the site. So, all that being said, Delaney, Ladybug's back. What did you think, and did it live up to? I don't know if we had hype for this because we're like Ladybug's good, not great first season. But what do you think of the season 2 premiere?
Oh God, I was so shook. Stuff was happening. There was suspense. I spent the first 10 minutes really confused because I haven't seen Origins in forever, and I was like, "What's going on?" But oh my God, they tricked us. Also, I think me and April predicted this. They're like, maybe he's gonna akumatize himself.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it's real. And then I was like, his dad's evil. Dark. And oh my God, it was just, what?
Yeah.
I'm just I'm mostly shook because this actually happened. They showed us something and there was a point and the episode was there was a plot. It was so incredible. I'm like, oh my God, this show has a point. I'm just so I had been wanting this for so long, and then it happened, and it was really good, and I was like, yes. This is all I've ever wanted for this show, and it's actually happening, and I'm so shocked. And then Despair Bear, like, was also really good. Oh my god, now I'm like, oh, okay, Chloe's gonna kind of just try and be nice. That's how she's gonna end up being a hero. And she actually saved Ladybug. Like, she looked legit. Oh my god, she looked concerned for legit 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. See, I tried to say legit and concerned at the same time, yeah. And it's amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just, also the bear was really cute, even though it was scary.
Delaney shook. Ladybug was.
I'm so shook. Yeah. I'm like, I messaged Dylan. I was like, oh my god, bro. I was like, I'm actually like I do like Miraculous Ladybug, like, but I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and then I watched the first episode. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, our thing with Ladybug is always like the show is great. It's fun.
But it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but it's kind of nothing special, and it doesn't do anything with anything. And then the first episode actually did something, right? So
I'm so shook. Yes. And then the second episode actually did something. Like, we had, like, that's the thing. Like,
it had like character development. In
that's the thing. Honestly, episode 2 is what I've wanted for this show.
Yeah,
like, we can have this episodic stuff. Like, we can have a villain every episode, but then do character stuff. And it was awesome. It was Chloe. Like, there was just plot. Also, Chloe sucks.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the episode. Yeah,
but it was extra sucked. Like, she called the fire department. That was so bad. Like, all of that was bad. For no reason.
It's because she was tired of them baking. Duh, that was the reason.
But like, you know, I'm blown away. Honestly, like, I'm stunned. They finally did it. I'm just like, I'm hyped. I'm hyped to watch Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, hype. Wow, didn't expect the hype to be so high. Yeah, and hashtag Chloe Demption has begun. This was the start. It's happening, obviously, because she's a hero, so it's happening. Okay, April, what did you think of The Collector and Despair Bear?
Okay, so I kind of had a small similar moment, but so I was watching The Collector, and after like 5 minutes, I had to pause it. Because I was like, or like 5 or 10 minutes, I paused it and I was like, is this actually like, am I watching Miraculous Ladybug right now? Because I'm really confused. Like, this show is actually a show at this moment. And so I stopped it and went back to the beginning to rewatch it because I was in so much disbelief. And then I stopped at the same moment again and I like yelled down to my fiance and I was like, what is happening with the world? Because this show is actually being a show right now. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, April. Stop. Like, and I was like, okay, I'm going to keep watching. And he's like, okay, just leave me alone. And so, and so I did because it was like everything that I thought I was going to get in the first season and then didn't get it. And so I was like, look, like, we know Hawkmoth and like they're continuing on from like previous episodes like you do in a regular programming. Like, it was incredible. Like, it's terrible to say, but it was so nice and refreshing to watch a show and feel like I'm actually watching a show, and then go into the second episode because I was worried after The Collector. I was like, oh, we're going to go into Despair Bear and we're going to fall back into the same routine that we always did.
I was also scared.
Right? So, and then we didn't. And I was like, oh, look, there's characters, like real characters. And it was miraculous. It truly was.
It was miraculous.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob. You have been officially kicked out of the Magical Girl Squad.
Yeah.
Oh no! I'll see you guys next podcast.
No, you've been kicked out. Okay, maybe. Okay, I would maybe let you come back.
What are we not? You're not allowed to make miraculous puns in the Miraculous Ladybug podcast. That's like the entire show.
Yeah,
they literally.
It really is though.
It's the fact that she said it like full deadpan. That's what hurt me. Like,
I couldn't like so well.
After she said it. That's what was awful about it.
So yeah. I'm very impressed. Like, way to go! I'm glad we're actually watching a show.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I'm glad you guys were really into it. We'll taper expectations a little bit later, but yeah, similar experience. Yeah, these came out like Saturday, I think, and as like what Ladybug's out, and I needed to watch Ruby. There's like a lot going on, and to track down the episodes because it airing in random countries. But yeah, these 2 episodes are phenomenal, honestly. And it's sorely needed for after season 1. And I think the astounding thing is that both of these episodes just rectify such obvious flaws in the first season, like both in different ways. So seeing them back to back right away is really encouraging, because one of the biggest problems with season 1 is we keep doing this nonsense hinting at Adrian's dad's Hawkmoth, and we never go anywhere with the Master Fu plot and stuff like that. And we get legitimate exposition, and we get the confirmation in the best reveal of the show, for sure, in one of the best scenes of the show, when he's like, I'm going to akumatize him. JK, it's me. It was like, that scene's wonderful. And yeah, that episode's great. And then Despair Bear, like, addresses completely different flaws with the first season, in that it has the biggest characterization the show's had outside of the last few episodes of season 1. And we also just completely lampshade the nonsense that is Chloe's character and her causing random akumatizations in season 1. It's a very self-aware episode. It's incredible development for Adrian and Marinette, and incredible development for Chloe. These are 2 top 5 episodes of Miraculous Ladybug by far. I'm not gonna. I want to say. I want to make sure we say, like, I do think that it's not like these episodes are leaps and bounds above the best the show has been. I do think, like Simon says, might still be my favorite episode of the show. Like, there were some really good ones at the end of season 1. So, like, I don't want to say the show's sucked before and now it's fine. No, like, the show's been good before. So, but it's just a highly encouraging, a highly encouraging start to the season. And if we keep this up, like, this can go from just a pleasant show that we're, like, fans of because it's got fun characters and it's just a fun thing to watch, to, like, it's actually a great show. But it would need to keep this up. And I will say that Despair Bear has a production code apparently of 204. So it is potentially being aired not exactly in order, and my worry is that they are just airing the best 2 episodes of the first half of the season back to back just to hype things up, and that will drop off from here. So that's my worry.
I will cry.
Yeah.
Many tears.
You definitely don't expect it to stay this good. I mean, they have never said we're going to be exactly sequential. Like, clearly the show is not going to have a continuous story. I mean, Despair Bear's not. What are we going to do? Just have these big Adrian Marinette moments every episode? So I think we're going to fall back to earth a little bit. Like, shows don't improve. Shows aren't, this is like one of the most striking instances of a show just, like, correcting all of its flaws right away into the next season, and it's not going to keep up. That's impossible. But regardless, these 2 episodes we'll always have these 2 episodes. It'll always be great.
We can cherish them for the rest of season 2.
Yeah, and regardless, even if season 2 falls back into some of the pitfalls of season 1, it's still it's still like a great sign that we're going to approach different things. We still have really exciting stuff to come with all our new heroes and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm excited to get into this. Let's start with the collector, which like I said, my big highlight is this Hawkmoth. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go to akumatize Adrian's dad and Gabriel, and we were talking about this on the season 2 preview podcast we did. If you want to listen back to see what we were right and wrong about, and I said it's out there. Gabriel gets akumatized in this first episode, and we were like, is this real? And we basically all did not buy it. So kudos for us not buying into the trick. But also they didn't reveal it, so that was really cool. Like, they previewed that he gets akumatized, but they didn't reveal that it was himself. So I thought that was great. I just think it was just a very cathartic scene. That like, he's like, grow, but don't go too far to the butterfly.
Don't leave me. Yeah. Like,
yeah, it was on its own. It's just another Hawkmoth scene, but just in context of the constant teasing of this reveal, it was so cathartic, I think.
I was just like, oh my god, they actually did it. Like, I didn't think we were ever gonna see this, and it happened, and I was like flipping out. And it just felt so good, because, like, at first, like, in the episode, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna investigate, and it's not gonna be him, and I'm gonna yell, and, like, then Adrian's gonna be like, Ladybug, why are you kissing my dad? Blah, 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 blah. And they didn't do that, and I was like, yes. Like, I mean, it's still upsetting, like, we know, but, like, Marinette and Adrian don't know, because they never know, because they suck, and I don't know the other ones. But like, it felt so good. I was like, finally, like, please just validate my intelligence and what you've been spoon feeding me. Please.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What did you think, April, of the scene?
I mean, yes, I agree. I felt better about myself with that scene because I was like, thank you for like finally doing something with this, because, you know, it's just like, it nags at you to have things just like hinted at, and like for you to sit there and be like, okay, like, but I'm right, aren't I? And they're just like, I don't know, are you? Like, it makes sense that like Adrian and Marionette like wouldn't find out, you know, and they would be thrown off, because how else do you create the drama and the continuous plot line that will eventually fall off? So, but yeah, I felt good about it.
Yeah.
So.
Is it crazy to say that this episode and the scene specifically almost makes all the nonsense in season 1 worth it?
Kind of, yeah. It's not like
I think it's that good.
Yeah, like it's so satisfying though, like,
yeah,
because you have an entire season, and I think I told like you, Dylan, like I was like over halfway through the season, and then it ended, and I was like, oh, that's the season, like what are we doing with this? And I think I went on like a huge rant to you about it because you were the person who was like, you need to watch this, and I was like, I don't know, and then I did, and so I felt so unsatisfied, and so just to have like that satisfaction in that moment was just like a huge relief for me, just to be like, yes, like thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think from that perspective, it probably pays off really well from someone who's just been like recently been just hoping that the show got there. And then from like Delaney and us watching this from week 1 to like, this is, yeah, it's a long time coming. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we just like hated the show in season 1 either. It's just,
well, no,
it's like great
all.
for its own type of thing, and they did set a lot up that they didn't pay off. Like
it's like watching your toddler walk.
Yeah, kind of.
You're like, oh my god.
I think it stands on its own. I still think it's like a good season of TV, like on its own, without having to pay off anything like this.
Cute, and it's like good, and like it's it's high quality for what it is, which is it's episodic, and there's a villain every episode.
And I want,
now we're going to the next level. We're pushing the envelope.
Right, and again, I want to let's not go. I still think we're mostly going back to season 1. Like, I think it's like season 1, but enhanced a little bit. Like, let's expect that, not some
season 1 plus is still going to be really good.
Yeah, it's still going to be good. Like, it's already these 2 episodes are more than I was ever hoping for from the season, honestly. So I'm really excited.
It's more than I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought we were just going to go back into the episodic nonsense, and I was like, okay, like I'm ready for this. Like,
yeah, I think that,
and I even
I think that one of the most encouraging things is that these 2 episodes are kind of episodic nonsense. Like they still follow the show's formula, and they've found a way to use the formula and go beyond what they were before.
Well, it's still Miraculous Ladybug. Like the DNA of the show is still there, but they're able to have plot, and it's like, you can do it. I knew you could.
Look at you. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like the show finally said dad and mom, and we just can't help like but gush over it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna gush over the show if it continues down this path. And continuing on the stuff in the collector. But yeah, Gabriel, I think, is the highlight of this episode. Him akumatizing himself. First of all, just very smart. Like, I think this is going to be effective. He's not dealing with super geniuses here. Like, this is enough to trick the 2 of them.
Yeah, no, I think he's literally dealing with children. Yeah. Grant, how smart is he that he can't figure out his own son's cat noir?
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. I think this episode had something to say about that. But this is just it's kind of an obvious move if he knew he could do this. I didn't know he'd have to like take off, like renounce his miraculous, and his Kwame and then go back in. But it's very smart, and it's satisfying to see Hawkmoth doing something semi-intelligent, because he really just sits there and just throws buttons.
He just stands in his tower,
and it's also really cathartic. We get clarity on where he is. He pushes the painting, and then he goes down. It's like it's below where he is in his office. That was so fun to see. I really enjoyed that. So the other big thing, as I just mentioned, was I do think there is a scene which might indicate. I'm gonna take out might. I think this scene indicates to the clearest extent we've had so far that Gabriel does know that Adrian is Cat Noir. After he becomes deakumatized and Cat and Ladybug leave, he says, "See you soon. See you very soon." Yeah, it's very clear. It's very clearly said, "See you very soon," after Cat leaves. So I'm not sure how else to interpret that, honestly. Like, it doesn't jump out at you because it doesn't have an obvious.
Well,
meaning.
We had our suspicions and origins that he knew.
Yeah, no, the show at the end of last season was hinting kind of strongly that he did know. So, like, I think it was more clear that he was Hawkmoth, and then slightly less clear, but still very possible that he knew Adrian is Cat. I think this episode would
just be like, "Give me your ring, son."
Yeah.
What?
Right, yeah. I think this is 90% confirmation. He says, "See you very soon" to Cat after Cat leaves. So
it's like a very subtle confirmation, though, like that he himself is putting the pieces together. You know what I mean? Oh, where is your son? Like, or where is my son? Like, and then for him to just be very accepting of the fact that, like, oh, he's just not there. Like, come on now, you know better.
Yeah, again, this episode really, or not again, but this episode really legitimizes Gabriel. Like, we learn he's Hawkmoth. He makes a smart move in akumatizing himself to throw them off the trail, and he also very clearly shows that he knows Adrian. So it's like, okay, this guy at least is smart. At least maybe not smart. At least he is not a giant idiot and misses these glaring things.
He can outwit 14-year-olds.
Yeah, basically.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. But probably does not outwit Master Fu, because Marinette says, "So Adrian's dad can't be Hawkmoth now, right?" And he's like, "It's very probable." And he's like, So
he's like, stroke spear.
It seems skeptical to me.
Yeah, he didn't seem to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, and even like, because I know better, but after he said that, I was just like, come on, Marionette, like, put it together now, girl. Like, I believe in you, but I don't know if she got it either.
Yeah, so I want to get to Master Fu's backstory in a second. But the other thing is, I think Gabriel also still does not know that Ladybug is Marinette, because he didn't. That was my impression of the end scene. Now, he was acting with Cat and Ladybug before they left, and then he said, "See you soon." Like, he was definitely acting with them. He's like, "Oh, what happened?" Right? So he could be doing that, but then Ladybug gives the book back at the end, and you were like, "You're one of his admirers," and and he gives her genuinely good info, though. He found the book on a trip overseas with his wife. So I was under the impression that he doesn't know that Marinette is Ladybug.
Yo, I don't think there's any reason he could know.
Yeah, it's
the suspicion for Adrian makes sense,
which is invalidated by the show. Yeah,
the fact that like they all
but
look
clearly that's not a big enough hint.
Yeah, I guess not. But I thought that was really interesting too. Okay, so we got we talked. Yeah, I think Gabriel stands out, but also we get a clear backstory for Master Fu. Like, thank you for telling us who this person is.
Is he like immortal?
I guess.
Well, let's go over the backstory. So Marinette formally meets Master Fu. He's the last known member of the Order of the Guardians of the Miraculous. There's Waze is there, his Kwame. They are responsible for distributing and protecting the miraculous for the good of all humanity. They're chosen from childhood. And when he was younger, he made some sort of mistake, and the Guardian's temple was destroyed, and the two miraculouses were lost: the butterfly and the peacock, and the ancient spell book. And that book has spells to give Ladybug and Cat Noir special abilities. So all that doesn't sound like a lot of information, but that's like more than season 1 combined gave us, and it was like in the first 2 minutes of the show.
Right.
Yeah. Delaney, what do you think of this backstory?
It's neat. I'm also like, oh my god, now there's Guardians. That means we're probably going to run into another one. Oh my god. And like, I'm glad they explained the spell book that like it gives them more powers. I'd like to learn more about that. To me, that's a better context for them getting more abilities if it's like through a spell book, other than it just being something kind of stupid. So that sounds good. Like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
It's neat. I want to know what his mistake was. Like, was it like trusting Gabriel? Like, and then like what happened to Adrian's mom? Like, did she die? Like, is she like trapped in a box somewhere? Like, so it's pretty neat. Like, it's also neat because the way they presented it in that like, he was what is his name?
Gabriel.
No, well, Gabriel
Master
is it Master
Fu.
Master Fu. Okay, so there's Master Fu, and like the way he told it, and then Gabriel being like, "Yeah, I was like overseas," and it's like, So it's like I like how they like set that up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting theory that he might have trusted Gabriel. Maybe they knew each other or something. Yeah, April, what do you think of the segment?
I like that it gives us that backstory. I mean, and it makes more sense to have like an ancient spell book versus like, oh, you just stumbled upon this ability kind of thing. Like, so I like the idea of them sort of like learning new abilities and things like that. But also, Adrian hasn't met Master Fu yet, so
Right.
I'm curious to see how like that's going to play out. It kind of almost makes me wonder if like eventually they're gonna like discover each other's identities in a sense so that like Adrian can meet Master Fu, because you can't just talk about like, you know, new special abilities and then not deliver.
Ooh.
But I mean, I guess you can. So
Okay, I love that logical connection. So, I hadn't thought of that. So, yeah, so Master Fu and Marinette do not know who Cat is. Well, no, Master
Right.
Fu does. Okay, JK.
Master Fu does, but like there's never been like an instance where like Master Fu and Adrian are like alone together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to our knowledge, Master Fu did, because he must have given, this is why I needed to rewatch Origins. He gave Adrian his Miraculous in some capacity, right?
Right.
So, but Marinette, Master Fu could connect the two. I'm not sure why he hasn't, but we don't really know anything, or like we don't know if he's checked in on Adrian or whatever. So that the connection that we know that Cat and Ladybug are getting special powers this season. Master Fu is the one that has the book that would give them powers. So wouldn't Master Fu and Adrian need to be interacting in order for that to happen? And if they're interacting, maybe Cat and Ladybug will interact.
Then Master Fu could also be purposefully like he's not to reveal.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to not reveal any of them to any of them. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that makes sense, but at the same time, part of the big, I guess, like frustrations of the show is the fact that like they don't know who each other is, and so
the biggest understatement.
Yeah, right.
In the history of the universe.
Yeah, Delaney and I constantly talk about this on these, but it would be wonderful if the show revealed that. Of course, it will. I've actually forgot. This is one of the things we were mainly speculating on, was will they know who each other are this season? I think I said yes in the finale of the season. I think that was my latest prediction. I don't remember, but I'm skeptical of that now. To be honest, I don't know if that's happening. I can.
But also, like, it's like a super awkward conversation to be like, "Oh, Cat Noir, how did you figure out that new ability?" And he's like, Matt picked it up in the streets. Like, how do you go about that?
I could see the show doing that though, or I could see maybe Marinette just gives him the power, like Master Fu tells Marinette how to do it, and then Marinette distributes it or something.
Can they please I just want it to beep, and they're like, oh no, like that's what I want to happen. I'm so tired. Like they show that, like that has to be how they really, like they do it all the time. They're like, oh, we got to change back, like. They if that's not how it happens,
it would be a good payoff. Yeah, when their Miraculouses run out of juice and they like, oh, we have to go change back. Yeah, it would be a good payoff if that finally happened. So
it was physically painful.
Every time.
Despair Bear.
Despair Bear, yeah.
And Despair Bear.
Yeah, Marinette was like, I had too much orange juice.
I wanted to die. I wanted to die. And then Adrian didn't even try. He's like, I have
stuff I need to go do. He literally said that. Yeah. He's like, I have other things I have to go do. And I was like, okay, bye. like
you two are the flakiest people.
Show up to this party, leave because you got stuff to do. Like, go tell us you have to wash your hair, Adrian.
Yeah, he could have some excuse, yeah. But yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so the Master Fu stuff. Apologies if I misremember anything, by the way. I should have done a full season 1 rewatch. I don't know if I could have handled that, but I should have.
No.
Yeah. And other things. What do we think of the Collector as a villain? Him taking stuff into his book. It
was super neat. Like he was because he was competent. Like he was like, I'm akumatized. I know what I'm gonna do. And also like I was like, one of them's gonna end up in the book. Like I was like, oh no. Yeah. And then like. It was like super like because normally I'm like whatever, like you watch the villain and you're like, okay, it's gonna go on for like 2 minutes, but like I actually was like, oh god, like I was actually on the edge of my seat. And then like it was just really neat, and like the mechanism of it was neat, and like he was just so evil and creepy, like when he was like Adrian, I was like, oh, like, he was a really good, like it was amazing.
Yeah,
I really liked
thumbs up on the Collector, April.
Yeah, thumbs up. I thought it was like it's interesting because it really played true to like Gabriel's character. And so like for him to kind of have like that sketchbook, and then he's like collecting it in his sketchbook kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that's really like unique. But also I like that he had like that control factor over it too. You know what I mean? Like I guess like in like all of season 1 with all of like those types of villains, like it was just like, oh, what are they going to do? Like what's going to be their sort of ability? But like this one, he seemed to like have it very planned out and thought through. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know you controlled that.
Yeah, I'm selling that. Yeah. Speaking of that, he's like, oh, I have this book here. I'm just going to use this as my prop for my villain costume.
Right?
Like, no, you don't get to choose that. That's not how that works.
No one else gets to choose. Why do you?
Yeah.
And he's like, you know where this goes. Like, geez.
But also, there's it's flawed too, because after he like made the Akuma, and then he renounces like his like wouldn't that like Akuma instantly become de-evilized? Like
that's less
is
clear.
That not how this works?
Yeah.
Like
that I'm fine with. That's like, okay, whatever. It's already in the ether. Maybe it just stays. Maybe it's not like you like beat the final boss and everything evil goes away. Like maybe that's not what happens. But
they do that with every other villain. She just throws her thing up and she's like Miraculous or Ladybug or whatever it is she shouts.
Miraculous, Ladybug, both. Duh.
Yeah, I was close.
April, you have to understand. Marinette shouts the show's name and throws her hands up in the air, and everything gets fixed. Yeah. Okay, that's how the show works.
Oh, okay, so then wouldn't that essentially be the same thing that happens if he renounces his Miraculous?
I guess so, yeah. I guess they are both Miraculous, so maybe they should follow the same logic. Miraculous Ladybug powers are special, though, I guess. But yeah, he renounces himself. Special. He renounces himself. How does he have control over anything? Because he's not Hawkmoth anymore. So that I don't really
exactly.
I think that maybe the intent is he knows how the process works, so he knows what effect it will have on him, so he can prepare for it. So he had an object in front of him because he knows it latches on to the most significant object. So he has this book. Well, it's weird
because like normally he controls them.
Yeah.
Well, he talks to them.
Oh, yeah.
He just has
like maybe he can control himself, but no, he's not Hawkmoth anymore, so that doesn't make sense.
But then even to go against like exactly what you just said, like the object has some kind of value to him, and he's like, oh, I'm just going to use this book, and it's like, okay, but what is that book to you?
It's representative of the book he lost, so I could maybe see that, but it was just a random book. So a whole bunch of logic issues, but I don't really care because it was great.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we don't care because we're super hype on this episode. But...
It is fun to discuss. Yeah. Okay. So we leave off with. Oh, by the way, I like the moment from the episode when Marinette's like, he has a butterfly logo as his as his. I'm like, oh, really, Marinette? Wow. You're
crazy.
And another moment where Marinette's like a loner, rich person who locks himself inside. I'm like, wow, Marinette, you're like 26 episodes late on that. Oh my god.
Come on, girl. Like...
And then at the end, she's like, nah, it can't be. So yeah, that's where we end up. Is
it can't be.
Yeah, Marinette, Master Fu like maybe has some. He might think that it's him still, but Marinette's convinced that it's not, and she gives the book back to Gabriel. But they take pictures with their phone. I loved this. thank you for just doing something completely logical and just taking pictures of every page with your phone. It's so obvious. Like this.
Didn't even say he's like, well, obviously, I'm just gonna take advantage of this technology.
Yeah,
which is why I was like, is he immortal?
Oh, because no, he's just an old person that is like, oh, it's a phone.
See, I like that, but I don't buy it. Like,
he might be like, so, yeah, we're not clear when the flashback took place, I guess, but to my knowledge, he's not immortal, but we'll see. But yeah, they both, him and Gabriel just take pictures of the book. Like, duh, who needs the physical copy of the book? Okay, thank you, show, for doing that.
Right, but then that kind of, like, it's like Gabriel defeated his own purpose. He's like, I have to have the book back, but I already have these digital copies. Like, what is the point?
Well, he might not have lied to Adrian that, like, it is from his mother.
That's
right,
true.
that might be true, but at the end, basically the impression you get is that he was just manipulating Adrian, so he didn't really care about the book.
Well, he might have been trying to figure out if Adrian's Cat Noir.
Yeah, I think basically, yeah, he's
he laid a trap.
He either was trying to figure it out or knows and is trying to get him to do stuff because of that. So, like, I don't think he actually cared about the book. That's what the end of the episode is saying. So, like, I just had these pictures. Who cares? So, it's more evidence that he does know Adrian's cat. I hope they show does something with that because I don't understand logically why.
Like the super villain and one of the heroes lives in the same house.
Yeah. His
and like the power play there.
Right.
Like, that's so weird.
I get that he knows and I appreciate that, but I don't know why he doesn't do anything about it because I buy that his motivation is to get their miraculouses. His miraculous is right there. You could get it at any time, Gabriel. So it doesn't, like, the only thing that kind of makes sense to me is he's playing a long game trying to use Adrian to get Marinette's miraculous because he doesn't know who she is. But I need the show to tell me that because it's a big logical inconsistency for me.
Maybe he just thinks that it's all, like, it's easy for him to get Cat Noir's miraculous, and so that therefore he's like, okay, well, I'll play this out until I can get that. I mean, that's the only thing. But again, I agree with you. I need some kind of like acknowledgement of that.
Granted, he might be afraid. Like, what if like Cat Noir getting taken is what triggers like the other heroes? Like, what needs to happen for there to be more heroes?
He might be aware. He might be aware that there are more. That's a factor. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, it's either he's playing a long game to get Ladybug's miraculous, or he has a different motivation we don't know about, such as like what you said. Maybe he doesn't want to get them back. Is his ultimate goal actually to get those two miraculouses, or to get all the miraculouses to like take over the world? Like, what is his actual motivation? So, I'd like to show. That's my next step. Is be more clear. Like,
I need motivation.
Right, this is a big step forward with Gabriel, and he's like gone from just frustrating gimmick to a like legitimately cool character, but let's take that next step. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk Despair Bear. We're already pretty far in, and first of all, this episode's called Despair Bear, and I was playing
It's got such an adorable name.
Despair Bear.
Literally playing Danganronpa 3 over the weekend when Despair Bear came out, and I was like, "What is this?" Because people who played that game, literally, it's
worst game to play with this episode. Just saying.
Literally, there's a Despair Bear. So I don't know if we're making a Danganronpa reference because that's just obviously what you think of when you think of Despair Bear for people play. Anyway, so I think the big highlights of this episode are. Well, let's start with the fact that the show is like lampshading itself. But it's like making fun of itself in that. So so Hawkmoth in this episode, it's so nonsensical, and it's like I think they're aware of how nonsensical it is. But Hawkmoth's basically like. So I'm just gonna, Chloe's having a party. I'm just gonna like let a
Kuma fly around.
Yeah. Chloe sucks.
Yeah, and Chloe's like evil, so this must akumatize someone, right?
I thought it was a really good idea.
I thought it was too.
Like, I liked it narratively. I was like, thank you for making fun of yourself and recognizing. Also, I'm glad that everyone in Paris knows Chloe sucks.
My impression was this is not how Hawkmoth functioned. Like, this isn't how it works. Like, this kind of breaks the season 1 mythology.
How does he know these things? Like, he just I feel a disturbance.
Does he have like cameras just set up everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I guess he's also just zeroing in on these 30. These not even 30, like 15-year-old kids in Paris. Like
he's like, I found this class in like that's a school in Paris.
It's just because it's a TV show. Yeah. But it maybe makes sense if he knows who Adrian is. Like that, you can kind of maybe make a connection. because he knows
But he also knows who Chloe is too, because Adrian and Chloe grew up together, or that's what I was told by the show.
Right, yeah.
And so he knows that Chloe causes like despair in others that he can then use to his advantage to create these villains. So that kind of makes sense, and it's smart on his part. So I'll give him props for that. Like, and he's like, "What? Chloe's got a party? Oh yeah!" Like he was ready for it.
It was just very funny. He's like, "I'm just gonna release this into Chloe's party and see what happens." Like, and then every time Chloe's gonna be mean, and the gimmick, Chloe's about to be mean to someone, and then the butler is like, "This is not what Mr. Cuddly would do," and then Hawkmoth's like, "Dang it!" and then it keeps happening. It's very funny to me.
Also, side note, did Mr. Cuddly have diamonds for eyes? Because that's the impression that I got.
Yeah. Just the gimmicks of the episode, the recurring jokes, and the Mr. Cuddly with Chloe calling the butler John, and then some other name after every single time. That was very funny, and him just Hawkmoth just being exasperated that Chloe keeps being nice to people. It was very funny, and also it was just like very cathartic in terms of the characterization of the show. It was like, wow, this is happening. This is great. Like, this is everything I wanted to see here. It's like, yes, this is what season 1 was. I'm glad we're aware of it. And on top of that, we also had the biggest Adrian Marinette moment, I think, in the show's history.
Yes.
What do you mean biggest? Like, there were like several. Like,
well,
in this one episode.
Well, then
they went the total
together.
Anime background, and like, I love how best part of the episode is when Alia shows up, just pirouette. And like makes them closer together, and they're both like, "Oh, it was so good!"
Yeah.
Like that was.
And then she just goes away.
She just spins away. I love her.
She's like, "I've served my purpose here. Goodbye."
Yeah, Alia always been the ultimate wingman in the show. Yeah, for sure.
She's the best wingman ever. Like,
right?
She has to put up with Marinette's complete nonsense so much, and she still supports it. Like, that's crazy.
I know, it's so good. Like, literally when she was like, "Who does that sound like?" And she's like, "Don't compare me to Chloe."
Yeah.
We need to do a round table of like best wingmen in animation, and number 1 is Alia.
Definitely, obviously,
number 1,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, but Marinette and Adrian dancing, like, wow, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was huge. Yeah. Like, also the fact that Adrian asked her to dance too.
Yeah, no, like, so Alia just like shoves Marinette, and then he's like, "Oh, you want to dance?" It's like, I was shook. I was like, "Oh, they're going somewhere." It was super cute. It was great. And Adrian's really sweet. Okay, actually, the best part of the episode is, was like, "Can I have some?" Like, what did he say? He was like, "Can I have something?" And she's like, "Yeah, what?" He's like, "Can I have a macaroon?" That was so good.
Yeah, he like gets in her face, right? And then it's like,
that's my favorite. That was really good.
Yeah, it was very like anime. Aimed at girls. Like, "Oh, can I have a macaroon?" Yeah,
and it was really funny. Can I have? And she's like, "What?"
Yeah, and
new pickle up line. Can I have a macaroon?
Yeah, it was. That scene was great, and then dancing was incredible. I think this episode is definitely the most support for the fact that Adrian might like Marinette back.
Oh, obviously.
Yes.
I don't think it's obvious. Adrian plays it cool. Like, I don't.
I mean, Adrian
plays it hardcore cool.
Like, he he doesn't dance with anybody else, and he was just like, yeah, it's because he's cute and like he knows.
He clearly likes Marinette as a person, like as a friend. That's been clear. Like game merch and stuff like that showed us that. But I think that there's some support here for him liking Marinette back. But yeah, I guess the thing is, but I want to know. Yeah, so I think we're at the time where we can do the episode where Adrian and Marinette like they like maybe see each other, they're out somewhere, and they like go on like an impromptu date that they both like don't.
And then something bad happens, and they both have to leave.
Well, okay, yeah, but but man. No, what I'm saying is, but like he's like, "Oh, I kind of like Marinette. Oh, but I'm in love with Ladybug." Like, I think we're ready for that episode.
Maybe he has like an internal conflict.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like he's like, he's like, oh, do I like Marinette? But no,
surprise! You can have both.
Or like it's one of those things where he actually starts to date Marinette.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh, but I'm so in love with Ladybug."
Yes,
like,
this is my April. This is my season 2 plot. I've been saying this. Like,
this is Dylan's fan fiction.
Yes, like do the Marinette Adrian dating arc. I keep saying this.
This was the fan fiction he wrote on our podcast.
It would bring a whole new level of drama to the show.
You do an arc of them dating, and then they maybe are on off throughout the rest of the season. And then at the end, you reveal like they've been dating each other the whole time, and they know each other. And like, it's the way to go with this.
I'm gonna
how conflicted would like Marinette be? Because
she
knows she's Ladybug, and she knows that.
Yeah, I think she.
You're breaking up with me because I'm not Ladybug.
Well, let me show you.
I want Alia to know at this point, and then she's like, Alia, and like she's like, I hate both of you so much.
There's just so much good potential now that we're maybe getting into Adrian liking Marinette.
Dylan, I'm sold on this. Let's do this.
I'm telling you.
Oh God,
I'm sorry, Dylan.
You're kicked out again.
Yes, that's my goal. How many times in season 2 can I get kicked out of the podcast?
Kicked out equals correct opinion. That's the new. Okay.
I love you, Delaney.
Speaking here on the Magical Girls.
No fighting. It's Magical Girls. Everyone's happy and okay.
And sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this shows. But yeah, I do think like do an episode where Adrian starts to acknowledge feelings for Marinette.
Do something.
And then that opens up the door to a lot of new things. Okay, so I think those are great highlights. What do we think of Butler John?
Whatever his name.
John. There's no. It's the episode executes this joke perfectly because they never give him a real name. He's just John Blank.
It's so good.
I'm not clear if he's supposed to be John or if he actually has a John as something. But
it doesn't.
But Chloe just never says it, so we don't know.
Is his hair purple?
Yeah. What?
Is his hair purple?
Okay, we don't need to get into this, Delaney. We spent a lot of season 1 debating whether Marinette's hair is blue or black.
No, I really meant this because I didn't know. Because from what I was watching, I was like, "Is his hair actually purple?"
You guys really?
April, we spent many podcasts debating.
Many podcasts. We're still
no. The answer has been answered. It is black with blue highlights. So we're both right. Okay.
Anyway,
what?
That's canon from.
I like how shook you are.
I took it as like the nod to anime where their hair is so black that it's like another color.
Yeah, but
okay.
The creator on Twitter said she actually has blue highlights. Okay, so
okay, whatever.
What was I talking about?
Whatever.
Okay, so the Butler, he's been in previous episodes. But I love him. I love him and Mr. Cuddly. He calls Chloe Mademoiselle all the time. It's great.
That's appropriate.
The bear thing is great. I love it.
Yeah. I did. Also, how is he everywhere? Like he was just like in the ball pit behind people.
No, I love how he just like praised it and like nod with it. It was so good.
Him being like, just everywhere is great. And
also, I love how much of a child Chloe is. Like Chloe likes to dress up like Ladybug and play.
Yes,
and then like the bear, which I relate to as someone who has a younger brother, and we would dress up and play. And like,
I mean, if you actually want to get down to the Chloe analysis, like, let's give Chloe a break. She's had a repressed childhood and is like she's not like the opposite of repressed. Like she hasn't,
and obviously has an absent father.
Right, she's an absent father. She hasn't been able to experience things in a normal way.
Does she have a mom?
I was gonna say, have we ever seen her mom? Like,
no, right? I think so. So I think not. So she like.
Oh my God, is that why Adrian and do they bond because they don't have moms?
I don't know if we addressed that, but yeah, it's leave Chloe alone in this episode. The other big scene we didn't talk about is Chloe is told to greet all of her guests with a kiss. Very French.
Oh my God! Oh, we finally figured out this.
Yeah, from the trailer. This is never. The show's never been more French than this scene, where she has to greet everyone with kisses on the cheeks, and then Marinette, and they have the slow mo of them.
Are you right?
Yeah, and then they
you're like, and then Olia's like, we should have filmed that.
Yeah, Olia's like, that was so good. Yeah, that was such a good moment. It was great. And
is Olia trying to set up like a fashion blog for Marinette? Like,
I think so. Like, that's the impression I got.
I love Olia.
In the beginning. I think they're just having like a fashion show. Like,
well, she said this would be really good for like when you have a blog.
I think she
like specifically called it out. I think
wasn't she just talking to Rose specifically?
No, I thought she was talking to Marinette.
I'm not sure. Okay,
yeah. I agree with Delaney
Alia,
on
Rose,
this.
Julica, and Mylene were at Marinette's house, and they're just
Yes, everyone hang out and be bros, and everyone's
But
cool.
I love the scene. It should have been longer because, like, again, we always Marinette like makes things, and the show never addresses it.
Oh right.
It's like occasionally she's making a hat. Like that's what she does. That's why she's in like this art school, which is what it is apparently that they go to.
Because she wants to be a fashion designer, which is why she knows so much about Adrian, because Adrian is a model for his dad's company.
Also,
and he does design.
Also,
yeah,
she just
got it.
But yeah, it's that
too.
She just
like in this episode, like I know Adrian's schedule to a T. He's always inventing it. Like
when everything was dark, that was really great. Like I liked how it was like all of that was funny. Like with the it's like the billboard thing. Yeah. That was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's like, what if my crush is a supervillain? Yeah. That was pretty funny. But I think it's from episode 1. Yeah. But what was I talking about here? I don't remember. Oh, they were having a fashion show. Like this makes sense. Like Marinette like designs stuff, so she'll have her friends over and they'll try stuff on. Like, yes, thank you for showing us like actual like Marinette's life as opposed to her just stalking Adrian, which is what we usually say.
Like her being a real human being.
And we can't forget that Julica and Rose are gay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we briefly saw Rose dancing with a guy in this episode, but. That's okay.
I chose to ignore it. It's fine.
Still, Rose Julica briefly speak. Ivan was also there, but no Ivan and Mylene in this episode.
Nope.
Yeah. Also, big Kim episode. He seems to like Chloe.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That was good.
That was super creepy. Do you want to dance? Ooh.
Ooh.
I thought he was very nice here, and it was very funny. Chloe,
no, he was nice. I mean, it was creepy.
No, it was super nice.
When he got possessed.
Yeah, when he got possessed, it was creepy.
Oh,
obviously. Yeah. No, he was super cute. Like, I felt really bad for him when she was like, "Oh, where is he?" And he was like, "Oh."
Yeah,
also, Chloe is so savage.
That was Chloe. That was the best Chloe. Yeah, that was actually funny when Chloe said it. And then
that was so.
And then she's like, "Oh, he's right here." Like that, and yeah.
Oh. That was so good. Like, no, everything else she did was legitimately awful.
That one was on her side on that one.
He just blows it off too. Like it doesn't register for him, and he's just like, okay, I'm waiting for you. Like,
yeah, he's like, oh, she's doing a thing. Okay, I think it was great. Yeah. Also briefly see Max in this episode. He didn't do much. He was possessed briefly. Yeah. People possessed Sabrina, Kim, Max, Alia, Ivan, and then Adrian get possessed. So, that I will say if there's
let's talk about Cat Noir was going to just destroy, absolutely obliterate Ladybug.
Right?
Well, that was messed up. And like even Ladybug was like, and then Chloe was like, I was like, oh my god. And then Chloe actually saved her. And like I was like, Chloe actually has a facial expression that isn't her just with her pursed lips and being like mad.
Yeah. Chloe was great at the end, saving Ladybug. That's the one thing that can get her to...
She's nice now, you guys.
Like... Yeah, okay, honestly though, how much... So obviously Chloe was, if your reaction to this episode is I hate Chloe, like, the episode is like, exaggerating her being awful.
I think it's supposed to reinforce it.
It's like exaggerating it to a large extent. But where are we on hashtag Chloe Redemption? Because we know she's gonna be the bee, and it's coming, and I do think this episode does make an attempt to somewhat start.
This is easing us into the idea that Chloe's going to be a hero.
They're like,
I think it's
get
Chloe
used
really
to
does.
Chloe.
Yeah, I think it's more like Chloe, like, and the thing was like, it wasn't because someone told her to do it. Like, she legitimately was like, and I think it has to do with like her maybe realizing she cares about people because we know she likes Ladybug.
That's true.
So maybe that kind of thing. Like we know she admires Ladybug,
this
and like
makes sense with her fandom of Ladybug. I thought her behavior at the end was great, and then at the end she's like, she does a nice thing, and she calls Marinette's dad back to the party, and she's like, I'm nice now, with just long enough to promise to be best friends with Adrian, and then she starts insulting everyone's macaroons. So.
Like, she just goes down the line.
Yeah, it was
like,
great. Yeah, and then,
yours are ugly. Those look like...
No, I like how she gets to Marinette. She's like, it's just too disgusting.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not even gonna...
She's like, I just hate her. Like,
Chloe is like, it's like Chloe's like a third. Like in this episode, you kind of feel bad for her for like how awful she's being. Half she's just like being awful. A third she's just being awful, and then a third she's like very funny. She's just like savage.
No, it's like she's just so absurdly terrible.
Yeah, like this episode clearly is exaggerating her awfulness to an extent to parody it. So like, just don't your reaction to the episode shouldn't be I hate Chloe. Like, duh. Like, this is what we're doing here. But anyway, I say this as
I think we're well on our way to our Chloe redemption.
So, yeah.
I was gonna say, I think
saved
it's like
Marinette. Like, I'm so
yeah. It's gonna be great.
Like, I love Marinette, and she saved Marinette, so now I'm sold.
Yeah, it's
also Chloe dresses up as Ladybug, and I will never get over that. That is like my favorite thing.
Yeah, we need to do that again. It would be great. So, great Chloe stuff here, great Marinette agent stuff. I missed the best line of the episode. I have it written down. Is Hawkmoth when he's frustrated about Chloe not being terrible. She says, "What are you doing, Miss Bourgeois? Where's that natural cruelty I'm counting on?" I wonder. Yeah, so on the nose here. It's great. Thank you, Hawkmoth.
Like he knew what he was doing.
It's such an absurd concept. He's like, I'll just really lazy Hawkmoth. Like Chloe will akumatize someone. Like it'll. It's like whatever.
Oh, it'll be fine.
That's like him taking a day off.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, eh.
This episode does like it make me mad in that like if he could just release like an Akuma without a specific target, why can't he just make a ton of them at once and just akumatize everyone? Like,
and why hasn't he?
So
like,
this makes me question logic, but again, it's worth it for the logic break because it's very funny. I think so. There you go.
It pays off in the
yeah. Final things we missed from Collector to Sparebear.
I kind of thought Despair Bear was kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, we did talk about him as a villain. What did we think? So I thought that maybe the one downside towards packing all this stuff in is that the villain was only on screen for like 5 minutes and it went by very fast.
Yeah, it went by super fast.
He was like little.
Yeah, he was little. Yeah, it was nice.
He was tiny.
Yeah, they boarded,
and he was like broom, 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 like all over the place.
I thought the scene where he turns into Sparebear was storyboarded really well because it's like you expect him to be big and then he shrinks. It was a good reveal.
I thought so too.
He was like cute and terrifying. I was just really weirded out because he was like inside. He was like a puppet. Like it was weird.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole puppet thing kind of, I don't know, but I mean he was cute. I was okay.
It was kind of funny though because he was just like this little bear and it would just like grab their ankles.
It would just latch on like a child. That was the funniest.
And then they unwrap it.
Yeah, they beat him pretty easily. At the same time, there's a pretty powerful villain in the scheme of things.
Well, yeah, when he's so tiny and you can't catch him.
Yeah, you can
just
latch on a cat's leg and make cat fight Ladybug. It's pretty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's I think I actually think I liked the second one even better. I think they're both phenomenal, but I just had so much fun with the Sparebear.
Yeah, I really like both of them. I don't know. I think I maybe liked. Actually, I don't know. I think they might be even for me. Like I just really enjoyed both of them, and like I was just like, this is so great. It was just so lit. And I was like, yay.
I liked them as a pair. Like I liked getting to watch them together. I can't imagine watching them separately because I think they kind of just like fit in nicely together.
It's like different aspects of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm just trying to imagine like what it would have been like to like watch Despair Bear without having watched The Collector at first and sort of being like introduced to that plot kind of thing. So I think they like it's almost like they kind of piggybacked off each other. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like Despair Bear piggybacked onto people to control them. Yeah. So that's what you're saying. Yeah. So
perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So there you go. That's our thoughts on Despair Bear and The Collector. Very excited to get into this continuation of season 2. And I do think now that we've opened the floodgates to the episodes, they're going to come pretty fast. And also season 3 has been in development for a while, so I don't think there's going to be much, if any, gap between seasons 2 and 3, just because this season took like a year and a half to air because they were waiting for a global synchronized release and then even do that, and it's not clear when Netflix is airing the episodes in the US. So yeah, there you go. But I should have said that in the beginning. We don't know when Netflix is putting them up. It's Netflix doesn't say anything, so we'll never know.
No, Netflix does what it wants.
Yeah,
they're worried about other things.
Yeah, no, Netflix needs to have more advance notice for shows. But the last we heard was December, but who knows? Okay. So let us know your thoughts on The Collector and Despair Bear and everything we discussed. You could comment. If you're listening on YouTube, hi. A lot of people, I think, watch our Ladybug stuff on YouTube. If you subscribe to our YouTube account, I cross-post all of our podcasts there, so you will not miss the Ladybug podcast. And also, you can subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app. Search for Overly Animated Miraculous Ladybug, and we have either our main feed, which is all of our podcasts, or our Miraculous Ladybug feed, deep, so check both of those out. And you can come chat about the show with us on Discord at overlyanimated.com/Discord. If you go to our site, there's a link at the top. And I set up a Ladybug spoilers channel because it's going to be too much with all these European airings. So we have a spoilers channel, we have a main channel for Ladybug right now. And you can pick. Presumably, if you're listening to this, you can go into the spoilers channel. So find that there, and of course, consider supporting us on Patreon. Patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Chew, aka Hugh Neutron, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Andy. So no promises on us being up like immediately after fan subs come out or anything like that, or even doing every episode, because if there's an additional 5 airing next week, 4 or 5, 4. So probably do 2, like 1 on the first, do them 1 on
Sounds
the
like a nightmare.
Well, yeah, so I think that they're gonna, if they translate them pretty fast, shout out to Miraculous Subs. Then I think that's where you'll want to find the fan subs, miraculoussubs.tumblr.com, I think. They're the ones that ran that spreadsheet. And yeah, it'll be good. So we'll get into all this Ladybug next week. Stay tuned for us for that. And thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.